Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. We are a few minutes away for the newest episode of The Flash is upon us now. Let me say this up front, okay? I know last week's video was very negative, and I was going into a lot of detail of why I'm not really feeling this season overall, why I feel like this is the weakest season of the show. I'm not really hyped as I used to be. I still love this show, okay? At the end of the day, I still love The Flash. I just have a lot of issues with Season 4, and just looking at the past seasons and now Season 4, it's not clicking as it used to. And I was a fan of Season 3. I know some people weren't. That's okay. I'm still optimistic. I want this episode to be good. I want the finale next week to be good as well. I want the show to succeed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dropping the show. I'm not planning on dropping the show. I'm hoping that my love will come back for the show like it used to be. I still love the show. I just want it to be back to where it was, where I was like hyped every single week for a new episode of Flash. But overall, this season has really worked for me. And when I mentioned this, I was expecting a lot of like debate. But it seems the majority of you guys, not everybody, but the majority seem to agree with me on the fact of Season 4 just isn't that great, or you guys are saying how too many filler episodes, like you were listing off your reasons. But I'm optimistic. I want this episode to be good. I hope it is. I don't know what it's about. I have no idea. I avoid the promos like the plague, as you guys know. So, I'm hopeful. I'm excited. You know, last week's episode, just to me, overall was filler. It just was weak in my personal opinion, and a lot of you guys seem to agree. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I mean, this is the penultimate episode. Next week's the finale, so I'm hoping we end with a bang here. So, we'll stop rambling as to start in a few minutes, guys. I hope for a good episode. And, let's see what happens, guys. All right, guys. Let's go. Hey, Diggle!
Agent Diggle, good to see you, sir.
Cool. That's not Diggle. That's the thinker, isn't it? Yep. Yep. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, that doesn't work. Jesus. Dun, da, da. Jesus Christ. They're showing all of his powers. Did he just create zombies? What in the shit?
Somebody has been blogging about the thinker. About the ball in the bus man is all
What?
If we find this blogger, we can stop the thinker. Hey, honey.
How fast is his brain deteriorating?
Yeah, I did see my fiance die. Twice. And then my next boyfriend turned evil.
I actually meant childhood trauma.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
The real Diggle.
What if I don't avoid the plates? What if
What?
I hit him?
What? Hmm?
I'm serious. I mean, if I go into flash time, I could use each
Oh,
place like
flash
a gun
time.
as a fuel.
Nah. This delivery is gonna be sick.
What?
And this baby is gonna be like one epic win.
What just happened?
We think we figured out how to stop DeVoe and save the hostages.
Well, what is it?
Us.
You bring us into flash time with you.
Oh. Is that gonna work? They're gonna pass out.
I know it's elite, Barry, but we're running out of time, and I just think it might work.
It might. I don't know. The time that you guys were in Flash time, you guys were immediately, like, passing out pretty quickly. Oh, training. Oh.
It's working.
And they're moving in Flash time.
My legs are stuck. I'm working with you for
Uh-oh.
Okay, just relax. Okay.
Just relax. Oh my God.
Great. That's great. I mean, that's just one more thing for me to talk about in therapy. I mean, can you believe what Dr. Finkel said this morning?
Babe, you didn't see her this morning?
Oh.
I did.
Uh-oh.
But I'm repenting. Just be careful, okay?
What is she hiding? Or what is she trying to get away from?
You can't save monsters.
Denise isn't a monster.
Not really, no. She kind of got roped in this whole thing, so the theory is she's going to help them, so.
What do we have to lose?
We're gonna bring her in, and we're gonna stop her so she doesn't hurt anyone ever again.
Jesus.
All right.
I understand her point too. But let's be honest, DeVoe, he's actually the more evil of the two. Oh my God. Oh! Not repressed memory. She's trying to get away from it. What the hell?
Where's Darling? Where's Darling?
Hi.
Oh.
Oh, you moved.
This is my home, okay? This is the first place that I've lived in with Barry. It makes me feel loved and safe, and so we're gonna keep it nice and clean.
Yep.
What is it? What do you think about?
Mm-hmm. She's back at her first home.
I think I know where Marley's is hiding.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I gotta get this bag ready.
Oh my God, she's acting like Joe.
I gotta change the clothes for the baby.
Oh my God.
Gotta change the clothes.
You're not ready to use flash time. Not like that.
We will be ready if you train us.
It takes.
Barry, you cannot sideline us because of what happened to him.
Oh. True.
I don't need nothing.
You think you're the only one who feels bad about Ralph dying? You know he came to see me at Iron Heights?
Oh, this is
He
not
told me
good.
he was afraid. He warned me he wasn't ready, but I pushed him anyway. I said, go back out there and do my job. I can't do this by myself, but
Then let them help you.
everybody I've tried to teach has ended up worse than when I found them. What?
Here we go. Let's see if it works.
I've got the charge.
Reach Lena's go.
Nice. Oh, he made it. Nice. Oh, they use breaches for themselves too. Oh! Got one of them.
People will put down their idiot phones and become curious again, and I will be there to teach them. I
Teach
not
them.
you, will save this godforsaken world.
No, you just control it. You want to take away free will.
Exactly.
Buttons for humanity to. Emotion is the father of all error.
Mm.
They distract us, impede progress.
Man, that really hit a nerve.
Right there.
Kitty, what are you doing?
What the hell?
Killer Frost. She was part of you. Even then.
Whoa!
The particle accelerator hadn't exploded.
What?
How's that possible? Yes, I left my husband. But that doesn't change the fact that he's right. If anything, his betrayal proves he's a very point.
He's here.
Yep. Oh my God, he's actually in the chamber.
Professor Devon.
Whoa! Don't mess with Gideon. Oh my God. Damn. Well, okay. The Enlightenment has begun. I mean, it makes sense. Next week's the finale. I mean, they destroyed the satellite, the first one, with the projectile from Amunet. It worked, but they forgot to shut down their own satellite and all the other ones as well. But overall, this was pretty solid. Pretty solid episode, in my personal opinion. This is definitely a lot better than last week's episode. And what I like, now, DeVoe has given a lot of speeches and we've been given a lot of insight into his thought process and what he wants to do and these plans he's making and these outcomes in his head. But in this episode, they really dove into the full compass of the Enlightenment, why he's wanting to accomplish this, why he wants it to happen. Because when he first mentioned it a couple weeks ago, people were like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? So we understood the plan before, but now he's really diving into why. He's like, first, I want people to put down their stupid smartphones and be curious again. And it's all about the technology, and he starts going into more about how this is going to end hunger, this is going to end poverty, this is going to end this, and this. People, like, nuclear weapons are going to go gone, peace. But then Barry fires back, which makes sense. We won't even know each other. We won't even recognize each other. The parents won't even know their kids. We won't be able to even recognize ourselves because he'll have full control over everybody because he's like, I will be there to teach them God, essentially. So I see why he wants to accomplish peace with the Enlightenment, but the cost is that everybody in the world will be at the mercy of him, and he'll be in control of everything. So it's interesting how they're going to pull this out. It's obvious DeVoe's going to fail, but at what cost? What cost, I think, is going to prevent this? Something bad's probably going to happen. I'm pretty worried about that. Okay, let's dive into Flash time and this whole thing that's going on. So first of all, we see Diggle, aka DeVoe, pretending to be Diggle, which is pretty cool. Then we have to see actual Diggle for a couple of seconds. But I wish he stayed longer, but whatever. That opening sequence with DeVoe in the hallway, which kind of reminded me a little bit of Darth Vader at the end of Rogue One. Spoiler alert. But it was just like this crazy shit. He's using all of his powers, and then at one point he makes fucking zombies, basically. He reanimates dead bodies to attack the remaining soldiers using all the abilities, proving he's basically unstoppable. On top of the fact that he's the thinker, he has all these other abilities. So he really showed how powerful he is in that sequence. And for them to accomplish and try to stop DeVoe, which ultimately they didn't do, Caitlin and Cisco had the idea of Flash time, which we saw in the Flash time episode that when Barry brought Killer Frost and Cisco into Flash time, they couldn't withstand it for long. Then they found a way, well, instead of you holding on to us, maybe if you transfer the Speed Force to us, they're speedsters in a sense, but they're also able to move around and do things. But they had to figure out how to open a breach and then use, it was kind of cool, like, she tried to use the gun wasn't working, so they created some kind of, like, thing to shoot out of her wrist, ice, and they were able to save everybody's lives that was in the balance there. And what I like about it is because they didn't make it to where Barry can just run in there and try to stop DeVoe. They came up with an obstacle, like there's these plates, and if he runs through them, it's going to trigger and kill all these people, and they're not going to be able to stop DeVoe, so they had to come up with a way. And so this whole Flash time thing, which is cool. I like the ability of Flash time. I like the idea of them finding new ways to incorporate new abilities that Flash can pull off, and I like Flash time a lot. I really, really do. They haven't used it much, which I'm happy with, because my thing is that once Barry learns a new ability like Flash time, that it gets used way too much. My guess is it'll be used again in the finale. Speculation, theory, I have no idea. But I like the fact that they use Flash time in really cool ways, in my personal opinion. Okay. Killer Frost. Somehow, Caitlin has been a meta her whole life, it seems. Because when she got into this wreck, she was on her bike, and it seemed that she got hit by a car or something. She looked in the mirror and saw Killer Frost as a young girl, way before the particle accelerator. So this whole idea of when Barry created Flashpoint, and then he reverted back to the timeline, and some things were shifted due to the timeline not going back exactly as it should, caused Caitlin to become Killer Frost because circumstances changed. Things changed. Turns out Barry had nothing to do with this, apparently. But we have no information. Like, my guess is Killer Frost will finally emerge in the finale, and maybe we'll learn some more about what's going on here in the finale, or we'll probably wait till season 5 maybe to kind of dive into it, since there's a lot going on in the finale, because the Enlightenment, it's starting. So there's a lot of things to cover on that. So yeah. Interesting. I'm definitely curious to see where that goes, for sure. Cecile. Interesting. Her powers are getting more rampant in terms of not just being in people's heads. She's actually going inside them and becoming them. She was like the pizza guy, which is weird. And she became Joe. Pretty crazy stuff. But I'm guessing we're going to see the birth of the child. I wonder if this ties into the Mystery Girl. I don't know. Who we know now is a speedster. So, yeah. You know, I'm really happy that this episode was solid as it was, because I honestly went back and watched my review of last week's episode where I was really negative, and it came across pretty negative. But that's how I was feeling, and I still feel about those things and my reasonings why I don't like season 4 as much. But I cannot bullshit. I enjoyed this episode. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode, and you know, for me, it's like we went from a really, really fillerish episode last week to a pretty solid episode, continuing the DeVoe thing, coming up with a cool obstacle they had to get through by using Caitlin and Cisco within Flash time, which is pretty cool, in my personal opinion. And now we have more insight into the whole Enlightenment and the potential of his wife, which I'm assuming is going to work with them in order to stop DeVoe. That's my guess, because the way they ended that whole sequence, I'm like, okay, something's going on here. So I'm curious to know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. Let me know in the comment section below, guys. And let's see what happens next week at the finale. I'm pretty excited. Are you guys excited? Because I'm pretty excited to see how they end this whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna stop around, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.